What's up, people? Back with another reaction, back with some more Savoy. And I'm very excited to have finally begun this deep dive. I wanted to give a shout out to a number of you. It was interesting. A few of you commented that, it's not your favorite side project, but you do enjoy some songs. A number of you commented that you're very much into it. I think Lori commented that she wasn't familiar with their material, but she enjoyed Paul singing on the first one. I did as well. But yeah, it seems like it's going to be a bit harder edged, a bit more like alternative rock, less pop rock. Perhaps the first tune was anomalous in that regard, but I think a couple people mentioned that it is a bit more down that road. So I'm intrigued to hear how this album will go. Again, it's 1996, just to sort of temporally frame it. And the second tune on Savoy's album is called Tears from a Stone. It's interesting, right? Like tears, it's a biological process. It can serve a number of different functions. Obviously, in humans and in relation to our art and our entertainment, crying often relates to emotional distress, or at least intensity, right? You can cry of happiness, you can cry from being in love, but often it's more the negative side of things. You can cry from disappointment, you can cry from a sense of loss, you can cry from feeling betrayed or humiliated. There's all sorts of things which could stimulate emotional reactions such that you begin to cry. But a stone is often used as the epitome of a lifeless natural object, meaning there's no metabolism, there is no nervous system, it is not a living entity in any way. So Tears from a Stone, it seems oxymoronical, it seems contradictory. I suppose maybe within that sort of phrasing there could be a metaphor about environmental damage and the idea that we're destroying Earth, so even the stones are crying, even the natural landscape is crying out in pain and anguish. Perhaps that's a bit too speculative, but ultimately I feel like it could be used as a metaphor in a few ways. But the first thing that stands out to me is the inherent tension or contradiction of referring to, again, a type of material which is held up as being the essence of a non-living thing having tears, which, ultimately things can, they can leak water, or they can, have crack. Like, ultimately there's a lot of really interesting things that happen with groundwater and the way, like, over geological timescales, they split rock and they, like, find their way through, like, solid walls of rock. But I can't imagine it'll be a sort of geological rendering, so not quite sure what to make of the title, but I am intrigued by the metaphor or the sort of literary quality of the title. So let's find out. This is Tears from a Stone, and it's from the 1996 album Mary is Coming by Savoy.
Strikes an old church tower a mile away, based on old transcriptions from a song will be mine. Tears from a stone, from a stone, from a stone. should wish up to the sky. You never asked us where we hide. Where we hide from the sun. Tears from the stone.
Drumming a lot of cool like rolls and fills at the measure changes. Oh, I hear you, Paul. Little jam feel, come on. Over the course of that song, I didn't say any of these aloud because I was sort of like waiting to see if it was just momentary or if it was something that over the course of the song I kept feeling. But there were multiple points where like I was feeling similarities to or connections to other groups, especially like 90s groups. There was a moment where I was getting sort of Weezer vibes, and then there was another moment where I was feeling like, it kind of reminds me of some Pearl Jam. And then by the end, it had a real kind of like progressive rock, like jam session sort of feel. Like there were a lot of flavors to that, even though I think it was a relatively cohesive tune. So yeah, really cool. And a bit less like alternative rock compared to the first one. It felt a bit more, I'm not going to say ballad-like, but it had more of like, again, a sort of progressive and sort of flowing nature to it, and it felt like a little less edgy. So really cool. And again, I'm going to enjoy sort of understanding the contours of their music going forward. Please do let me know what you think of this one. Let me know if there's tunes coming up that you're looking forward to. Yeah, just completely new to this group. But again, shout out to those of you who sort of explained who they were and what sort of Paul did outside of the group. Once again, I wanted to mention I'm going through Morton's work. I'm still in the process of figuring out how to react to Mag's work, but my plan is to go through not only Aha, but all of the members' music as well. So hopefully you're here for it. Let me know what you think of this tune. I will see you next time. Peace.